This is verse 1, chapter 10, Gospel of Matthew. We're reaching the beginning of a conversation in which Matthew describes the sending out of the 12 on their first mission, kind of practice run there in the cities of Galilee. And so we have the introductory description of this, in which Matthew tells us Kai, the connective, proskalesomenos. This is from proskaleomai. Of course, kaleo means to call. The middle form of this, kaleomai, would be to call for, or in some way reflexively having to do with oneself. The pros, of course, accentuates that, so the general sense is having called to himself. This is a aorist participle, masculine singular nominative, referring to Jesus. So having called to himself, tous, the accusative article, in the plural, and referring to the dodeca, the 12, adjective going along with mathetos, disciples, so the 12 disciples. He calls to himself the 12 disciples, autou, the possessive pronoun, genitive singular masculine of him or his 12 disciples. Of course, the 12 of the disciples corresponds to the 12 tribes. There's at least a general idea that these become the heads, as it were, of the new 12 tribes of Israel, which, of course, in the New Testament is understood to be the church, the true seed of Abraham, as Paul emphatically teaches in Galatians and elsewhere. So having called these 12 to himself, edoken, this is from didomi, means I give. This is a verb in the aorist here, so he gave to them, third person singular, aorist active indicative, autois, to them, the indirect object, so it's the dative plural, masculine, he gave to them, and then the direct object, exousian, so it's in the accusative, he gave authority to them. What kind of authority? It's the authority of, in the genitive pneumaton, from pneuma, plural, genitive, spirits, akatharton, the adjective modifying the spirits. These are not clean spirits, but unclean, with the negation at the beginning, the alpha. So he gave them authority of, literally, unclean spirits, idiomatically, of course, suggesting the idea of over them, to control them, to own them, as it were, to command them, and they have no power to resist. So he gave them that authority. Hosta, this is a conjunction. It means so that, or to the effect that. Then two infinitives here. First, ekballein, present infinitive of ekballo, to cast out. So to cast out, auta. This is the accusative plural of the neuter pronoun, so cast them, referring to the demons. Kai therapeuein, another present infinitive, to heal, so to cast them out and to heal. And then pasan, from pas, pasa, pan, means all or every. In the singular, as it has here, the accusative singular, noson. Noson means something like a sickness. It's a feminine noun, and it is in the second declension. So every sickness or disease, kai, pasan, malachion, an illness. These words are fundamentally synonymous. Noson is generally associated with a more short-term kind of illness, malachion, more the long-term sorts of maladies and illnesses, but there's some overlap between them. So Jesus gives to his disciples, the 12 of them, this authority, the authority to go out and to engage in the healing ministry, and of course this is going to be, as it were, a practice run for them, as they will eventually be sent out to make disciples in all the nations, but at this point they're restricting themselves to the cities and villages of Israel and especially of Galilee.